Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with the State of the Market video. Today is April 10th, 2021. Before I get started, this video is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, so let's start with the SPX actually. SPX, amazing week, straight to all-time highs. Really nothing bearish to say about that in all-time highs. You may say that this is getting a little bit extended from its moving averages, 3.5%. So next week, going into next week, some sideways action or maybe even a small light volume pullback would make sense. But again, nothing bearish at all. Qs, which are a better barometer of the way I like to trade, of the stocks I like to trade. So, we had the double bottom, up, retest, come up here. So then it's a choice here, right? Does it come back and make, another kind of double bottom type move and then move up higher? Or does it make a shallow handle-ish type move and then break out? Notice both my scenarios was it pulling back, and it's mostly because of how quickly it moved and how far extended it is from the moving averages. I would be shocked if it kept going higher and higher and higher. Is it possible? Sure, it's possible. You could have a scenario like this where it just kind of kept grinding higher, but there's big gaps in here. So very impulsive move on decreasing volume. Again, let's keep expectations, real and say that, a low volume pullback into the moving average, maybe around the 326-ish area would be the more bullish scenario. And then it breaks out. But we'll see what happens. No one knows the future. Again, it could all come all the way down and kind of, retest some of this area potentially and make almost like a double bottom. I mean, would be perfect. Obviously, double bottom, you want it to undercut, this low right here, even better, this low right here. That would be the typical double bottom. But you see here, it never retested. Doesn't have to. And I still consider this a double bottom. But whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. It's more about it. It coming back, getting some more energy, and then busting out. All right. We'll see what happens next week. But again, very impulsive-ish type movements. So again, some backing and filling would be totally normal. Let's keep expectations real. IWM, IWM used to lead, and then now it's gone sideways. And so really in the end, it's just consolidating these gains. Nothing too worrisome on this, but nothing I probably, that really excites me on this one either, where SPX and, is at all-time highs and Qs are right there also. So yeah, why would I be involved in IWM if the other ones are doing so well? That being said, small caps, right? We'd like to see them at least participate. They're not doing anything wrong, but they're just kind of moving sideways, consolidating this nice big gain back here. So nothing really to worry about, in my opinion, there. Semiconductors. Semiconductors look a lot like the Qs, right near all-time highs. Now, they usually lead, right? Which is why I look at them in this particular video, because they lead the market. At least they have been for a while, as you can see. And so in my Q scenario, I said I could pull back or go sideways. Well, they are just going sideways. So that's uber bullish, right? For the semis, that's saying that people don't want to sell. They're holding on to them and just letting it consolidate this impulsive move up here. I think that bodes really well for the Qs for more of a low volume pullback or sideways move, because because the semis are already doing that. And so there's a good chance the Qs will just follow what the semis are doing. This looks really good. They're not inside days, I guess this one may be an inside day right here, but they're tight. They're very, very tight. And I think that speaks volumes right there of what's going on. So I love this. Semis are strong, if you want to be involved in the semis, but also as an indicator this is an extremely strong signal in my opinion. Now, XLF is also at look at that all-time high. So, the IWM is kind of moving sideways, but you see the financials are still moving higher. So I think that's really bullish, right? So financials don't have to lead, but they do need to participate. Going back, just recently, they broke out of this level right here, right? This was 2008, right? And we have been under this level since 2008. So just recently they've broken out. So that's really bullish. I mean, if you want to look at long term, I would even say macro type ideas. I mean, that is as bullish. They've done nothing for 13 years, and now they're breaking out. Pretty bullish. And IWG, which is the financial services. They're kind of like the leaders. Look at that. That's beautiful. Again, this is 2008, 2007 here, and then they're finally screaming higher. All right, so semis look good, financials look good. Let's look at bonds. Let's get that back to the daily and get rid of volume. Okay, bonds. So we're looking at the bond spreads of high yield versus government bonds, and a narrowing of the spreads would be bullish. Things that look like this, aggressive widening of the spreads, that would be bearish. What do we see here? We continue to see this downtrend continue. We move down, we're moving sideways. Expectation now is another leg lower. Nothing bearish at all about the bond spreads. Let's look at VIX. VIX down to 16.7. I mean, it's beautiful, right? This is a great environment right now. Nothing bearish at all about the VIX. Call ratio. But call ratio is at 0.588. Now, this is the equity only. All right, so this strips out the people that are hedging indexes and things of that nature, right? So it's only equities. Where is the money going to work? Which is why I use this. If you just look at the total put call ratio, you're getting all the people hedging, and I think that it gives you maybe a false sense of what's going on in the market. So this is equity only put call ratio, and yeah, we're not overheated. We're just in a bullish range. I mean, that's as nice as it looks right there, right? And it's nothing bad about that. That's great. So let's look at the value line geometric index. Right, this is a measure for me of market breadth, right? Right near all-time highs, right? It's looking good. Breadth is good. It tells me that, it's not Amazon and Apple and Google that's leading the market. It's a broad range of stocks that are leading the market higher. That's really nice to see. So breadth is good. Yeah, let's look at stocks over the 50-day moving average, right? Percent of stocks above the 50-day average. And we're not overheated. We're not, we're just in a bullish range. There's nothing, there's nothing wrong with this. Could we roll over? Sure, we could roll over. But as of right now, I mean, that just looks fine. It doesn't tell me hurry up and there could be a sharp pullback to, something like this or something like this. When it gets into my red zone here, I think the chance for a sharp pullback, we're not guaranteed. As you can see, we stayed up there for a while, but I think once it gets up there, I think it's more likely a sharp pullback to the median happens, and we're not there. I mean, yes, we're making lower highs in this, but that doesn't bother me at all. To me, this looks absolutely legitimate, and there's room to the upside, which I like. There we go. And going back to the Qs, just like let's go back here and talking about breadth. I mean, we could go to equal weight Qs, and you see that they're right near all-time highs. And we can look at what's interesting here is this has already started to base and go sideways, where these Qs, the weighted Qs haven't, and that is because of the weighting, right? Because this week Apple took off, boom. Amazon took off, boom. Right? Google took off, boom. Microsoft took off, boom. So you're going to see the weighted Qs look different than the equal weight Qs because of that weighting. But again, this is just putting in a nice little, I hate to call it a handle on an index, but it kind of looks like a cup and handle, right? Type of idea. So I think the psychology is about the same there. So I think that's really, really constructive. And just looking at SPX, just to round out what we're talking about, here's the RSP, which is equal weight SPX. Again, it has gone sideways for 2, 4, 5 days now, consolidating these gains, letting the moving average catch up. And if you see, it's only 2.55% above the moving average, where that's 3.34. So that's again because it's cap weighted at SPX. That's the reason why. All right. So just to sum everything up, to me, everything looks really bullish. I think the market environment, which is the whole purpose of this video, is to say, okay, what environment are we in? Is a very, very, very bullish environment. Can we pull back next week or chop around? I would not be shocked. I'd be shocked if we didn't move sideways or pull back a little bit. That would be the more surprise. So for my time frame, I'm not doing anything. I'm fully invested currently because the market's been good the last week or two, and whatever small pullback we get, it's going to be welcome, actually, because I know that when it breaks out, it's going to be even stronger. The environment is from bonds to VIX to call ratio, sentiment, right? Breadth, everything is lined up for a bullish environment. Doesn't mean it's going to be. We don't know what the future is going to be, but it's set up for a bullish environment. So I think it's an exciting time to be involved in the market. And yeah, so good luck this week. Before I go, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Also, tomorrow my stocks to watch video will come out, so it'll be my best ideas going into next week. I already started working on that, and I have about 30 or so names that I'll be sharing, which is pretty awesome. I love these setups, and recently I did a video with Ben inside the trader's head with Ben at Pattern Profits. So that was a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead and I'll repost that this weekend, as well as the other ones. I did one with Richard Moglen. I've done with Matt from Twitter also. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I'll go and repost those videos this weekend and check it out on my YouTube channel. And I think that's it. So I hope you all have a great week. Find me on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. Take care, everybody. Bye.